In this video I show you how I make the notch for the arrowhead and how I do the hafting preparation using stone tools. This one ended up with one split in the middle, which is what I do on arrows too. If I use stone tools, it makes it easier to get into the notch for the arrowhead. Okay, this I believe is ash wood, but it could be some other hardwood. I'm gonna have to get a clarification on that one, but it's a hardwood, obviously, and it's a shoot. Now, I mentioned a lot of times that you can split this out. You can do the, I guess they call it the 4-cut method, where you can cut it in 4 locations and then move it around and eventually break it out so you get a square bottom notch. But this wood is fairly dry, so it's not very flexible. It's almost fully dry. So it's hard to do it that way. It just ends up snapping right here without making a notch. Or if it does make a little notch, it only removes the superficial outside bit of the wood, and it leaves a lot of the wood inside. You know what I mean? I wish I have another piece that I was experimenting with on the ash wood. But the ash is pretty strong. It won't actually flex very much. It's kind of, you know, if it's really strong, it's often very brittle, so it would just snap right here. Anyway, what I do in that case is I just cut it off, and then I start by making 3. Well, I mark the depth of the notch, then I make 3 kind of like chisel cuts on each side, and then I work these pieces out, and you'll see that in the video. Now, this one fits in pretty good this way. I still need to take a little bit off here, and a broken or a snapped point is pretty good for shaving. That edge right here on the breakage is pretty good for shaving wood. And I like to put a little bit of a concavity here and here, just so the binding stays put. And all the stone I used in the video is from that big Pedernales river stone. But anyway, that split opens up a little bit while I'm inserting. It holds this arrowhead firmly, and then when it's wrapped, when the wrapping shrinks a little bit, it'll hold it together. I've also seen where there's 2 splits in here. Now I don't know if that's from just the age of the artifacts that creates a split, or if the splits are intentional. I tend to think that they're intentional. That way, you know, it holds, it kind of grips the arrowhead while you're mounting it and trying to get it to line up. Anyway, it took me about 20 minutes to get that hafting done. Now on the other one, I went ahead and created a little tang with a shoulder on it to fit the reed that I was using. Let's see. I found some reed that I can use to making that ladle dart. I got a feeling this reed is a little bit too strong for what I'm doing, but that's okay. I'll make several and see what's best. You can see the reed is thicker than the foreshaft, and this was the larger diameter foreshaft that I was using in that previous video. Now the spine on these, they start, you use a bathroom scale and let's see if I can get this to show you. Let's pretend, let's see. I put the bathroom scale on the ground and then I put this on top, and when this starts to bend, oops. When it starts to flex substantially, like that much, I look at the weight, and if it's around 8 pounds, when it starts to flex really well, that's how I know it's the right spine, for me anyway. From the last time I made one, it worked out pretty good at 8 pounds. We'll see what happens this time. I might go down to 7 pounds or whatever. But these reeds, you can't see it in the video, but they're about, I guess, 5 feet, 5'5" or 5'6". I forgot the measurement, but it's over 5 feet. It's over 5.5 feet for the length on those. Okay. So I'll show you the whole thing as it progresses. I'm going to do this whole series. I'm going to do the whole at ladle dart, foreshaft, fletching, and shooting in this series. Okay, that'll capture a lot of what I've been putting off in the past and promising what I'll be doing. So then I can move on to another topic and finish up the Southwest style stuff and move on. Okay.
Right.